What's up, Markerheads? It's Karen from Art by Karen E. Haley, and today I have the second part of Dragonair's Crystal Cavern. And in this one I'm just going to be coloring Dragonair, and at the very end I add in all of the highlights with my gel pen and kind of a really pale colored pencil. So in the beginning I'm just going to be coloring in Dragonair. And I want to apologize for taking so long to get this video up. I was hoping to get it up a couple days after the first video. But today is the 20th of September, and the reason it's taken me so long is partially because I've gotten really sick. I don't really want to alarm anyone, but I am really sick, and so I have not been feeling well enough to work on anything. And actually what I have is like it's called scarlatina or scarlet fever, and it's a type of strep throat, which is basically it's like strep throat with the added symptom of having a really horrible red rash all over your body. So I haven't even been drawing because I really don't want to have to worry about cleaning all of my art supplies when I get over how sick I am. And I am technically still in the contagious stage, so I really don't want to touch any of my art supplies. So instead I'm just going to be editing my videos today and hopefully getting those out to you. So basically what I'm doing in this drawing is coloring Dragonair with a flat blue color. And this color, I actually feel like it's a little bit too blue for this picture. But the color I wanted to use, I don't have the refill for, so I had to make do with what I had. And so I think that I'm using B02. And yeah, it's a pretty bright color, but I do tone it down later with the shading, so you'll kind of see how that works out. And I don't know, I was trying to do this weird thing just then with leaving the color a little bit lighter for a highlight, and then I just colored over it. I didn't like it at all, and I was like, well, this is my flat color, this is my base color, so I'm not going to try and do any lighting with this color, so I just colored over that little highlight that I made. Anyway, so what I moved on to the shading, I shaded this with like a blue violet and then with a violet color, and then I blended it all over with a blue and then I brightened it back up with a violet. So it's like there's a lot of layering in this video, and that's a lot of what my coloring technique is a lot of layering. And that's why I like to recommend that if you're going to copy my technique or try my technique or whatever, I don't really think it's copying if you're just doing the same technique as me, but like if you're trying the same techniques as me, I would recommend having refills because it is really ink intensive, but it's the effects I think are worth the extra ink usage. So that's why I like to color the way that I color, is because I think that it looks really nice. And here you kind of see me adding in highlights because, interestingly, this character is blue and the lighting is kind of purple, and so it was kind of hard for me to shade this because I shaded it with purple because of reflective light, but then I also highlighted it with purple because the surroundings are purple, and because Dragonair is coming out of this, I guess, underground lake, I wanted to make sure that you can tell that its skin is wet. So actually I was looking at reference pictures of dolphins jumping out of the water to kind of figure out how they would look. Especially like pictures of them at sunset and seeing how like the orange would reflect off of their skin. And I don't know if I really emulated it very well, but I do really like the way that Dragonair turned out. I do feel like the colors kind of got a bit muddy in places because I did have to do so much blending, and this color was so much brighter than this purple. and so I feel like if I had used the marker I wanted to use, it wouldn't have turned out as dull. But unfortunately, it's just the way that it is because I couldn't use that marker that I wanted to use, and so I had to do a lot of extra blending. And that's a double-edged sword, I guess, of blending, because blending different colors can create a great spectrum of color, and it makes a really good blend and things like that. But on the flip side, it can also just kind of dull your colors, and even though I was only blending blues and purples and blue violets and all of that, because I think that because this brighter blue had a tiny hint of a greenish tone to it, that might have contributed to muddying up the colors a bit. So even though it's a much brighter blue than the color I planned on using, in the end I think that it affected the colors in a way that made it more dim, even though it's a bright color when you look at it as an individual color. So I don't know if what I said made sense. Some of you might understand what I mean if you know what mixing colors is all about and all that stuff, but I may not have explained it very well. Finally, I'm going to be coloring Dragonair's eyes. I always do this. I always color the eyes like as one of the last things, and it's because I really don't like to color the eyes until I've finished blending the skin areas or whatever around the eyes, because the eyes are usually the darkest point of the picture, and it's also the most important part of a picture of a character, I believe, is that the eyes just really have to pop and look good, and so you want to put a lot of contrast into your eyes. And so that's why I tend to color them last, but at the same time I feel, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I feel like for the video's sake it sometimes looks kind of creepy. But I'm sure you guys understand that the reason I do it is because I want to make them look the best. And a lot of other artists do save the eyes for last because it's their favorite part of the drawing, and it keeps them going so that they can work on the eyes last. And here I am just adding some reflective blues off of the Dragonair and coloring the water. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this drawing. I'm making sure that you can see through the water here, and now I'm just blending all of the lights and adding all of the highlights. I really hope that you like this drawing, and I forgot to mention that I've actually put this up on Etsy as a print. I might just put that in the description below. And I hope that you enjoy this picture, and I hope to get better soon so that I can start drawing again, because I really don't want to work on my artwork and then get my markers all contaminated. And yeah, it would be sad. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you guys will subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like this picture, head on over to Etsy and you can pick it up for yourself. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.